Oh my goodness, Virgo. Welcome to your August monthly reading. You got 4 cards for your spirit animal. You have 4 animals. You have the rabbit, and I'm being guided. She said to take them. They're all yours. You have the vulture. You have the mouse, and you have the buffalo. So get something to drink because this is going to be a long reading. This is going to be a long monthly for you guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at this little wabbit. Silly wabbit. Twigs off a kid. All right. The wabbit. Afraid of everything. Okay, first let me just give you my psychic impression when I got all these cards. So okay. So my first psychic impression when I picked up all these cards, hey Mondo, welcome to Virgo, is that this is a really big month for you, Virgo. Like this is just really, really, really big. And I feel like you specifically are going through, there's something big. There's just something really big. And I feel like it's you might be ready to jump into something that you've thought about for a long time, something that you've considered for a very long time, something that you are really, that's so weird. What's up with animals? We're gonna find out, Mondo. This is like, I'm telling you, like with all these animals, you guys, this is, you have a pack with you is what I'm hearing. Like if these were real animals and they could, like with you, like spirit animals with you and around you, they're going with you. You're taking like this little army into something. Okay. Afraid of everything, overwhelmed, frozen. The rabbit loves to remind his friends that someday the eagle will swoop down and eat him. Talks and talks and talks about it so loudly, in fact, that one day the eagle hears and thanks him for the great idea. Rabbit energy is alive when we are scared, most often about the future, and we become our own worst enemy. We spin up a dust cloud of fear and then complain to others that we are lost. Notice your thoughts and words, oh rabbit, they shape your destiny. When you're in balance, you are sensitive, you're a problem solver, you're a good listener. When you're out of balance, you over-explain, you talk really fast. To bring yourself back into balance, a day of silence. You know, Virgo, this could be, I mean, this is like such a neurotic energy, and that's so Virgoan. Parking, I know, right? This is very Virgoan, the over-analyzing. See, you're about to jump into something, I know, and you're like, I feel like you keep sort of talking yourself out of it. So this energy is like something that you're having to overcome, that you need to overcome. Let's take a look at this vulture. I have never pulled this card yet. This vulture, it's really cool. Guardian, ooh, and purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued because what you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When you are in balance, clarifies, reveals wisdom. When you're out of balance, dramatic and aggressive. To bring yourself back into balance, clean your space, and sage. This is very misunderstood. This is a very misunderstood energy, but I feel like you had I feel like you misjudged a situation, and any little, you know, I know that Virgos are very critical of other people, but Virgos are very, very critical of themselves. So what it feels like is like you, something happened and you made a misstep, you made a misjudgment, you know, and you're needing to purify that. You're needing to like remove yourself from the judgment, or there's something there with that. And I know this little mousy mouse, it's more neurotic energy, but we're going to read from the book anyway. Little mousy mouse. detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, nervous. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. When you're in balance, you are organized, resourceful, and prepared. When you're out of balance, you are busy with no purpose. To bring yourself back into balance, you need a meaningful project. I feel like you made some snafu, some misunderstanding, you've made something and do your little project, and it's not, you're supposed to like purify, alchemize, grow beyond it, but you just sort of stewed in it and you stayed in the mental anxiety of it. Man, Bergs, what's going on? What is going on? All right. Last but not least, this is what, okay. I'm getting good energy from this. Very grounding. Buffalo. Grounded yet heavenly. Practical yet spiritual. This is what you're becoming. This is what you're stepping into this month. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind rise toward heaven. The buffalo sees challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn. May we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time, and may we allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift. When you're in balance, you are trusting, and you are pure presence. When you are out of balance, you are restless, and you lack gratitude. To bring yourself back into balance, you need prayer. And it says Bhakti, B-H-A-K-T-I. I don't know what that is. But prayer to bring yourself back into balance, or any sort of meditative practice, calming of the spirit, and just sitting with yourself to ground yourself. Whatever it is that grounds you into the earth with your eye towards above. And you know what I'm getting is that actually the noses on these guys are all sort of like tiny and cute. Let me take a look here. So instead of stewing, instead of getting really neurotic, and this is like fearing about the future, over analyzing, analysis paralysis, and like way too detailed, and what you're picking it apart. Okay. Picking it all apart. And instead of picking it apart, you've got to burn it away. You've got to purify it, and then you have to do this at least once for something big, so that you can do it easier and quicker the next time it happens, because it's going to happen again, because we're not perfect, and so it's like this might be a very big learning curve for you this month, Virgo, where you learn how to see challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Okay, so let's get into the astrology and see where this is all happening in your life. Okay, a second here, get this the way I want it. Okay. So this full moon that we're on from August 3rd, this full moon is happening in your 6th house. Now that's interesting, because what I just got instantly is pettiness. The 6th house is the house of pettiness, but it's also the house of work, your daily life, and anyone that you work with, your immediate supervisors, managers, or your employees if you are an employer. And so there's a culmination here. Not only is there something ending, either the pettiness or the minutia of the day-to-day, or maybe something is just changing in the way that you do something. So the how could be just shifting. It's also reflecting the light of the sun back at you, which is Leo in your 12th house. And you have the sun in Leo in your 12th house right now. The barking was the emphasis. So this emphasis in your 12th house, that is your self-sabotaging behaviors. So you're looking at yourself through this full moon in your 6th house in your day. It's like something in your daily life, or maybe something you do every day, see every day, or coworker, something there is showing you a self-sabotaging behavior, and you're needing to see it in order to grow. And both of the lights are being T-squared by Uranus, and this effect is going to stay in effect until August 18th. So Uranus is in your 9th house. So this is all to evolve your perspective, which is exactly what all these animals are here to do, to help you in the month of August, Virgo, is to get you from like the sky is falling and everything's going to go horrible to everything is an opportunity for upliftment and evolution of the soul. So these experiences, anything coming up, and it could even be something coming up for like travel or like a philosophical breakthrough, of course, but also any literary endeavors or any publishing endeavors could just really shock you. Or there could be something, if you're involved in that, it could be something very surprising coming through. And then the other T-square is between your 11th house with Mercury in Cancer. Mercury is now in Leo, opposing opposing your Capricorn 5th house. And those are your of love and what your heart desires, both being T-squared by Mars in Aries in your 8th house. So there is a redistribution of your resources. So you could be choosing which friends and which groups and which associations really deserve your energy and deserve your resources. So it could even be that there's some conflict there. You could even be severing a connection, severing a relationship with a friend or an online person, an online association, or something of that nature, because Capricorn has the power in your 5th house. So today Venus entered Cancer. So with Mercury retrograding in that area, you were rethinking your friends and you were rethinking where you belong, the groups that you belong to on the world stage. And with Venus now as a few hours ago, she's going to go ahead and start to repair any little kerfuffles, any misunderstandings, anything that the mouse is over analyzing and picking apart. She's going to heal it right up until like the later part of August, when she starts to make oppositions to that 5th house, but we'll get to that in a minute. On August 9th, Mercury in Leo is trining Chiron in Aries. And so there's a psychological healing right there. There's something that is being healed within you in regard. This hasn't even been plugged in. Can you still hear me? Thanks. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I didn't even see that. There's something here of an opportunity to heal some wound that you have surrounding really connecting with another human being. Interesting, Gemini has a little bit of that. And it's psychological thing. There's something in your early childhood experience, and it's very masculine. It's your masculine energies. So it's like very illuminative, any self-sabotaging behavior patterns of yours, Virgo. And then with Mars retrograding in the 8th house, it's like either your other person's resources are being slowed down and restricted, or how you share with others. It's like you're getting a go-ahead, like you approach sharing differently. You approach what you share with others, like the intimacy, differently. And so there's a healing there. You're going to realize, oh, maybe my father was so selfish, or maybe, whatever it is. The very next day, Mercury is going to square Uranus in Taurus and 10 degrees Leo in Taurus. So the very next day, there is going to be a little bit of a ruckus. And this is the last week before Uranus goes retrograde in Taurus. Keep in mind, okay? On the 15th is when Uranus will go retrograde in Taurus on Saturday, next Saturday. But on Monday, next Monday, there's going to be you might need to say something, or you might have a conversation with a literary person, maybe like a literary agent or manager or something, or it's something abroad. Something is going to shift your worldview. And it's on the heels of Tuesday, August 11th, with the waning, decreasing in light quarter moon in Taurus, which is your ninth house. So with Uranus representing the areas of life where we need to grow and change our behaviors, for you, and this Uranus stays in a sign for 7 years, and for you right now, Virgo, it's your philosophy. It's actually how you see the world and what you think of the world and what you think of life. So there's an adjustment that needs to be made there. There's going to be, you could have an epiphany, a realization on Monday that's painful, like a painful truth to accept, something that's like, oh, I got it wrong, I missed the mark, oh shit. It could be something like that. And but it changes you, but you allow it to, be burned away. You give it to the vulture and he'll take care of it, kind of a thing. Now, the day to circle for everyone is Thursday, August 13th, and that is when Mars squares Pluto in the sky, the second Pluto-Mars square. It's intense for you. It's 23 degrees Aries and Capricorn. So for you, it is going to be your 8th house and your 5th house. This could be an extremely demanding child that just goes psycho for something. Or it could be a lover, someone that you're dating. If you're starting to date someone, Virgo, your 5th house rules dating, it rules hobbies and small animals. And, it could be that you need to write a check. It could be that that there's a huge expense related to your children, related to your hobbies, related to your creative projects that just catches you off guard, and it's going to frustrate you. There's going to be careful and try to stay clear of power struggles. So much easier said than done. So, but that's the day to practice impulse control and to try to keep your head above water and try to be mature. Just try to do the best you can with what you have. Okay. Because on Saturday the 15th, Uranus goes to sleep. Uranus goes retrograde. So, and then the next day after that is when the Sun and Mars will trine in 24 degrees Leo and Aries. So this has to kind of blow up. Something may have to be severed. You may have to sever a relationship or a connection, or you may really want to. But a couple days later, like I said, on Sunday the 16th, there's a healing for your psychology. Again, this subconscious healing is happening between your 12th house and your 8th house. So I feel like there's a behavior pattern that you no longer need, that does not serve you, that you're able to let go of, and you're able to heal it, and you're able to sort of work this experience out of your experience. And the next day, Mercury joins the party. Mercury will join the Sun in Leo in your 12th house, trining Mars in your 8th. So there's definitely a healing happening, and you're able to speak, you're able to give voice, you're able to okay. Right over there, I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, you're able to give yourself a break. You're able to, and honestly, this is leading up, preparing you for the Tuesday, August 18th, new moon in Leo. So there's a new moon in your 12th house. It's a fresh beginning. It's a clean slate, a new fresh start. And that's really beautiful because, like I said, Mercury will be with the Sun. So you will be thinking, you will be processing a lot. You will be processing a lot of information. And on that same day, this Yod formation, the finger of God, is actually pointing towards Saturn and Capricorn in your 5th house. So you're really being called upon, Virgo, to take responsibility for your heart and for what you love. That's it. Hold on, I have to go and put that in the title. That's it. Sometimes I just, okay. Responsible for your heart. I'll just say that, for your heart. That definitely rings true for someone. Okay, so back into this. Where was I? Okay, so the very next day, it's interesting, the very next day, on Wednesday the 19th, is when Mercury enters your sign. So Mercury's on the move now that he's direct, and you're going to feel really confident as Mercury. Now Mercury is going to go ahead and make trines to both Uranus and the juggernauts in Capricorn. But nothing that you can't, like, that's like all very, very positive angles. So you're going to be feeling really good after the 18th specifically, and even after the 19th, when Mercury does make that shift from your psychological 12th house, the subconscious, and going through all the karma, into your first house of self, and where I feel like you're going to be feeling more confident in your abilities, in your communications. So anything that you are getting kind of tripped up on, I feel like you go into the month feeling uncomfortable. You go into the month feeling, turning a molehill into a mountain, however it goes. But this is your process. You're learning how to do your own cleanup energetically yourself, and then you come out as the buffalo at the end of the month, okay? So then that week of the 18th is basically the new moon energy. It's not till the next week of Monday, the 24th, that we have our next major aspect of Mars squaring Saturn in 26 degrees Aries and Capricorn. So now there's more responsibility, and I feel like you're actually going to work this a little bit better because of the healing that's been taking place. It could just be like you want to, the upside, like the best of this, is that you're eager to take responsibility, but there's a slowdown somewhere that's out of your control. It could be something like that, but there's tension there. So just keep an eye on for that. On the heels of August 25th on Tuesday, when we have our waxing, gaining in light quarter moon in Sagittarius. And for you, that is your 4th house. So now there's an adjustment that is coming from the psychological advancements and evolution that you did a week prior, beginning with the new moon in Leo in your 12th house. So now you can make an adjustment in the home life, and or with your vibe tribe, the people that are your people, And on that same day is when we have Venus opposing Jupiter in the 17-degree Cancer Capricorn axis. So I feel like you're going to want to overdo it. You're going to want to, like, if you're like, you could be really, that's your 11th house and your 5th house. So I feel like you could be really happy. There's a tendency to overindulge, or you might be throwing a party for someone, something like that. On the same day, Mercury trines Uranus in 10 degrees Virgo and Taurus. So that's really helpful. This is like, whatever you're doing, whatever actions you're taking after the full moon, or whatever adjustment you make on the 25th, it goes a long way to heal your self-confidence and to heal. This is like how you see yourself. When you adjust your philosophy with Uranus, when you get yourself to this, you're going to feel so much better about yourself, being able to handle any challenges that come your way, and to meet anything, any obstacle or challenge as an opportunity for upliftment. So that's a stellar day. I would always circle the 25th because you can feel good that day. Also, on the 27th of August, we have Venus trining Neptune in 19 degrees Cancer and Pisces. And that is your friendship house. That is your 7th house of partnership. So it's like, that's a best friend. So you could be shifting your alliances this month, Virgo, and deleting, severing connections in the first half of August, and then realigning with a new friend or with new friends. It looks like one specific partner, business, family, friendship, lover, whatever. But that's a really nice day, the August 27th. I mean, you're feeling so inspired. This is a spiritual connection. You're feeling very inspired that day. That's a stellar day. I would circle that day too. And then August 29th, Mercury is going to trine Jupiter in 17 degrees Virgo and Capricorn. Wow. That's a lot of talk, a lot of planning, a lot of creativity, a lot of creating, a lot of self-expression. You're going to be feeling so on top of your game, Virgo. You're going to be feeling like you can say anything. You can express yourself fully. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can, that's a very, very good. And then whoever that fifth house person is, someone you're dating, a friend, a child, if we're talking about a creative project, it's all very supportive. They really support your ideas, and they have ideas. And in Jupiter, it's like more, 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 more. Okay. So last but not least, on August 30th, you have Venus opposing Pluto in 23 degrees Cancer Capricorn. And then you have another opposition in your sign with Mercury opposing Neptune at 19 degrees Virgo and Pisces. So this is interesting. This is like kind of possessive or something, where you need to meet in the middle. There's like one little, and it's interesting that it's like at the very end of the month, right before the full moon of September 1st, September 2nd in Pisces. So it's like there could be some final point or some final agreement or some final meeting of the minds about an issue between you and someone else before there's that climax, before there's this culmination of this new relationship or this new development or this reinvigoration or this redesign, 2.0. Okay. So it looks like a great month. It really, really does for you, Virgo. And just keep that in mind that the first half of the month, you're going to be a little bit neurotic. You're going to be a little bit like making molehills into mountains and severing connections with any people that exacerbate this in you, any people that bring out your worst, any people that, bring out your bad, self-sabotaging behavior patterns. You're going to be taking them out like they're garbage. You're going to be severing those connections, and you're going to be standing up on your own 2 feet, aligning yourself with people that are going to reflect stability and strength and the best qualities about yourself back to you. And it's going to help you, number one, form a great relationship with them, or improve a connection if this is someone you already know. But more than that, you're going to be solid on the inside in your own inner stability. So you're gonna finish the month very, very strong, Virgo, no doubt. So I hope this is very helpful. It's a very long read. We had a lot to say for you guys. So take very good care, everybody. I love you, and we will talk again soon. Mwah, darlings.